Today, instead of blabbering at you, I figured I could just casually play one of my favorite jazz standards. Haven't haven't really warmed up, so this will just be a nice little casual run through. It's called Stella by Starlight. Sounds like this. So, there it is. That's the song. What I'm doing here is something called a solo guitar arrangement. A solo guitar arrangement is when you're playing the melody of the song. So that's the melody, and then also playing the chords underneath. And putting those together, the melody and the chords. Which is pretty difficult to do on the guitar. On the piano, your right hand typically plays the melody, and then your left hand typically plays the chords. So at the very least, on the piano, you've got two hands largely doing two different things. Of course, you can get more advanced with the piano, but that's how most of the time piano players are playing. And then you take a trumpet player, you can't play chords on the trumpet. You just start playing the melody, those single note lines, right? Same with saxophone or any other wind instruments. But on the guitar, playing the melody and the chords at the same time, it's like oddly difficult because we've got these 4 fingers on our left hand, 5 if you use your thumb sometimes, but I'm not a huge fan of using my thumb all the time on my left hand to actually make notes. So yeah, it's like on the guitar, we've got 4 fingers to do with what piano players use 10 fingers to do. So that's part of the reason why it's pretty difficult to play solo guitar arrangements on the guitar. But I think it's pretty. I hope you thought it was pretty too. I could sing it for you as well. It's early. It's 6:19 a.m. in the morning. So we'll see if my voice can get up to that register. But just so you can hear the actual melody, sounds like this. The song a robin sings. Actually, maybe I'll play the melody and sing it at the same time. That way you can hear a better, like, you can hear how close they are better. Okay, here we go. The song a robin sings through the years of endless spring. Murmur of a brook through eventide that ripples through a nook. Where to love? Oh my goodness. I'm getting confused now trying to sing it and play it at the same. Where to love, lovers hide but that's the wrong chord. It actually should be this. Lovers hide. Man, this is embarrassing. Lovers hide in the grave. It's too high for me this morning. But as you can see, that's the melody. So you can hear a little bit of the melody. It's one of the nice things about playing solo guitar is that you can go through the song once with just the guitar, and then you can go through the song again with vocals, which, as you can see when I play the song, I usually don't play the solo guitar arrangement and the vocal arrangement at the same time. I'll usually make it a little bit easier on myself and just play the chords and sing. You know, the song a robin sings through the years of endless spring. And it kind of sounds nice because it's a little more different than the solo guitar arrangement that I had played the first time. And then in jazz music, a lot of times what will happen is you'll play the melody, which is basically written, and then you'll go through a period of improvising over the chords. So improvisation, basically making up your own melodies, but the chords will stay the same. So instead of playing the melody and the chords, maybe you just make up your own melody, something like... So that was me running through the chords. Not perfectly, but okay. Kind of okay. I'm always going to be super critical of my playing. That's something that us guitar players do. We're super critical of our own playing. But yeah, usually when you're playing in a jazz setting, you'll play through the melody, which is written, and then you'll do some improvisation, which you're making it up in the moment. And that's really fun to improvise with other musicians, because then it really becomes a conversation. When someone else is soloing, I can maybe play something and then they play off of it, and then we're having this back and forth. I mean, it's truly just like one of the greatest human being experiences that I've experienced, is having a musical conversation with another musician, with just in it, going back and forth with just the music. It's really, really wonderful. And then at the end, you'll generally play the melody again to signal that we're going to be ending the song. And usually everybody takes turns soloing. In general, you can solo as long as you want, but if you solo too long, people kind of get annoyed with you. And sometimes drummers and bass players take solos and sometimes they don't. It's kind of up to them. So yeah, this has kind of turned into a little bit of a ramble on playing jazz in general, but I hope that you liked this song. There's so many great versions of Stella by Starlight to listen to. The Miles Davis version is probably one of the most famous. But if you just go to Spotify or YouTube and you type in Stella by Starlight, there's going to be tons and tons of different options. And that's another thing in the jazz tradition, is that typically lots of these songs either come from movies or Broadway musicals or something like that. And so we typically, and then jazz musicians will come and they'll record their own versions of it. So usually when you're learning jazz standards, you'll have like 10 different recordings to reference from. And typically, you don't really reference like the very original recording, because what the jazz musicians did is they took the popular music of the time, which maybe felt a little stale, a little stuffy, and they injected their jazz kind of spirit, their jazz swagger, and their improvisation into the music, which really kind of makes it what it is. So yeah, check out Stella by Starlight. Lots of pretty chords. It's kind of a complex song as far as like jazz standards go, in terms of how many different chords are in it and how many different keys of the moment that you end up running through. But it's very popular, so if you start going to like jazz jams or something, it's very likely that someone will want to play Stella by Starlight. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this little rant slash playing situation, and I'll see you in the next video.